Our legacy here in Philadelphia would certainly be Old Pines Historic Graveyard, which was founded in 1764 at 4th and Pine Street. When we came here and we were asked by the minister after joining church, what are you going to do for the church? We looked at each other and said, well, we'll take on the graveyard, not knowing that the dead had never even been alphabetized. And became very difficult when someone would call seeking genealogical information about an ancestor. The only thing you could do is thumb through volumes of handwritten material, because there were no such things as lists of the dead buried, the yellow fever victims, etc. And so this started a long-term project by Ellen to read and transcribe late 18th and early 19th century manuscripts. We say that over 90,000 hours were spent of volunteer work to do this. That's not shortchanging it at all. On the other side of the river, even a greater legacy may be the occasion when we sold the historic Bishop Eyrick farmstead to the Pinelands Preservation Alliance. Shortly after we moved to the farm, Ellen decided to have the house placed on the National Register as an isolated property. Ellen was steadfast, and the house was placed on the National Register. We converted a very large carriage shed. When I say large, you probably could have parked 5 farm wagons in this. And the Loudon barn, which is absolutely spectacular. The upper barn floor is larger than a regulation tennis court. They have figured out that they can be a venue for weddings and special occasions, and with a place so special in New Jersey, nothing like this. So we're very pleased with that.
One of the reasons that they decided to have weddings there is because we had a wedding gate made because our daughter was married on the property. It was a gate to go into a garden section. They thought it would be a nice place to have weddings.
We were known for spectacular gardens. We had almost 2 acres of formal English gardens for 20 years. And we finally gave up after Ellen had a heart attack and open triple bypass surgery. We decided we had to come to Philadelphia to be closer to medical treatment.
This is our second time. We've lived in the city.
Yes.
When we were first married, our older daughter, who's now 50, was born at Presbyterian Hospital. And so when Ron said, would you like to move back to the city? I said, when?
It took almost 2 years to find this perfect house.
Right.
I wanted an off-street parking place. And Ellen insisted that her favorite Hepplewhite sideboard had to fit in the house some way.
I also wanted a kitchen on the first floor level. I didn't want a kitchen
in the basement. And of course, we have a Steinway piano, and we wanted to make sure that the house space could accommodate. So we love it here in Philadelphia. Professional life, Ellen was a registered nurse for several years. She liked the calamity side of nursing. The, what do I want to say, high energy of the emergency room. We met because I was hospitalized. I was going to art school. I'm not going to tell the story, but she was my nurse. When I was in the military, I was stationed at Fort Belvoir, Virginia, and came home on many, many weekends. Ellen was, by that time, had become a secretary for a division of J&J, working directly with the vice president of that division. So Ellen really migrated from one profession to another that she knew absolutely nothing about, which was the exhibit business. And I was in the exhibit business for 32 years. 32 really exciting years. The exhibit business was a very, very exciting business. And the reason I liked it, I started out designing interiors and commercial interiors at a time when interior design was not in a position that it is today. I decided I didn't like it because the projects were long-term. You get tied up with a client who couldn't make up their mind whether it had to be pink or purple, or whether the fabric should be smooth or nubby. And I thought, what the heck? And when I discovered the world of exhibits, it was like a new light bulb came on, because exhibits are a very short duration. Our client base was predominantly Fortune 500 blue chip companies. We worked with the best of the best, and we gave them our best, and we proved that we could make them the most recognized exhibit at the American Medical Association, the National Association of Home Builders, or whatever, because we knew how to take information and turn it into its simplistic, direct answer to capture someone's attention. And that proved to be our success. I was asked by two older men to join an ongoing exhibit company with a large carpentry shop involved with it. So we were builders as well as designers, and things weren't as equitable as I thought they were, and I brought it to their attention to arrive at the office one morning to be told I was fired from really stock ownership of my own company. We had just moved from Haddonfield to the farm, and by the time I got to the farm, Ellen had gone up in the barn and dusted off a drafting table that I had when I was going to art school, and took a stool that I think was her grandmother's high stool, and put a telephone on and said, "You're in business." And then she became my business partner, a very trusted business partner, might I add. We were very lucky because when I was fired, Ellen already had was an incorporation here to make pre-stenciled needlework kits, not replicating historic samplers, but certainly making your eye go back and say, is it an old one or is it a new one? Mm-hmm. And we worked out a way that the stitcher could customize their own name. And so when I was fired, we became Exemplars Incorporated, and we were in the exhibit business. And fortunately, within 48 hours, I had called all of my clients. My clients, one by one, said, "Well, we never knew your business partners anyway. We knew you, so we're going to stick with you." And we had a very successful business within 6 months. With all of this happening, we probably made one of the best decisions of our life, and we traveled. We would hire someone to come to the farm, stay with the kids, take care of the business phone calls. We always did this in a downtime of the exhibit industry. And this afforded us the opportunity to travel extensively throughout Europe. We had a 29-day vacation to Egypt, and a similar one to Turkey. When we went to Italy, we didn't do 4 cities in 4 days.
Right.
We would stay 10 days in Florence, or we'd stay 10 days in Venice.
Rome.
Or
nice.
in Rome. Our inspiration for all the gardens we created at the farm were based on our many, many trips back to England. We retired while we were still at the farm.
That's fabulous. And you guys have been married 56 years?
Pardon me?
56 years you've been married?
This in what, 3 more days?
In 3 more. Oh, happy anniversary.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. So
you think we'll make it?
I think you might make it. Absolutely. You're off to a good start, let's say. Now, if you had to give advice to how to have a happy marriage, what advice would you give?
Argue like hell. Get over it. Get on with it. And love each other.
Oh, very, very
And
sweet.
most of all, trust each other.
Trust each other. Absolutely. That sounds like wonderful advice.